You can take your pick of which club you want to start this off with.
I suppose we start with
the bad or the good?
We start with the bad.
We start with the bad. 2-1 Huddersfield.
Just another fantastic David Wagner one-off performance, wasn't it?
Aaron Moy masterclass.
Yeah.
Very good.
And defensively, Huddersfield looked really, really good. They look...
I'll just sit here in silence because I'll just get abused by the Man United fans. So I'll just sit here in silence.
I think before you bash and go in on United, it's like you have to give Huddersfield serious credit for the way they played, because that back four looked really solid, which at times last year Huddersfield really didn't look defensively solid. They got promoted with a goal difference of -1, so they did ship goals at times, and he's brought in Jorgensen at centre half and he's really shored them up. He looks a much more solid unit than Hefele did. Hefele is like German David Luiz. You don't know what is going to happen with the bloke. It's better that he's sitting on the bench. They only bring him on up front for the last 10 minutes when they're losing now. But they looked solid defensively. Moy had a great game. Jonathan Hogg, I thought, looked really good in defensive midfield as well. He was at Portsmouth when we were in the Championship, and he was on loan from Villa at the time, and he looked a serious prospect then. He got a couple of injuries and it stagnated a bit for him, and then he went to Huddersfield. And since he's gone to Huddersfield, he looks the player that you thought he would be. He's just a really good defensive midfielder. He does his job well. He's just tidy. And he did a really good job against United. And I just thought Huddersfield were just the better team. Obviously, they had a helping hand for Victor Lindelöf for the second goal.
Yeah. Again, it was like Lovren. It was a carbon copy of what Lovren did. Just come for a ball. It was like he ducked.
I think it just defend Lindelöf slightly in the fact that he had only come on.
But the centre half should
you
win
need
that
to
ball.
be ready.
You
have to be ready. You're a Premier League defender.
Yeah.
I'm not having that. Like he's not.
It's still a mistake.
All you needed to do was that.
Yeah, it's still a mistake, obviously, but maybe the concentration isn't there to begin with because he's only just come onto the pitch and it's the first half. If you're coming on in the first half, I think it does take a few minutes. I think you know yourself from playing football growing up, it takes a few minutes to kind of get up to the pace of the game because you're not really in there yet.
Just to touch on what you were saying at the start about just how Huddersfield set up, they restricted United to pot shots.
Yeah.
Like Ashley Young had one outside the box.
How is he still getting the game? How is he still getting the game?
Because he can still put a super cross into the box. I'll give him that.
Yeah, but he shouldn't be playing as a wing back.
No.
In my humble.
I suppose we need to talk about Lukaku's cross. Fantastic.
Yeah, fantastic
On
cross, good assist.
Maybe you'd like to speak about it.
One other thing about United.
I always credit him when he does win.
United's performance, which I thought was lacking big time, was I think they missed Henrik Mkhitaryan starting. They missed that player
could they
who centrally and runs with the ball and kind of just gives them that little bit of attacking threat and stretches the other team a little bit. Whereas they didn't have that without him in the team, and I thought they really struggled with that. I think
Mata had a good game either.
Yeah,
he seems to be kind of in a.
Well, it didn't help with Mourinho coming out there the other week and saying I had no players to bring off the bench and Mata was on the bench.
Yeah,
I was like, what sort of message does that send to?
Just sitting there, okay, mate.
Yeah, but no, Lukaku's cross. I mean, he chased it down and whipped it straight in. I mean, if you're a Rashford, you couldn't be asking for a better ball.
You wouldn't get a better ball. You wouldn't pay for a better ball.
And it was actually, he curved it so far away that the keeper couldn't go for it, and it was just curving away from the defender. It was head me in. Here's your fucking Christmas present for you.
Well, anyways,
I think.
I thought Huddersfield's character after United scored, and they just they were like it was like watching Ireland when they're like defending for their lives.
Yeah, I think David Wagner is a serious prospect as a manager as well because he was compared to Klopp last season.
He needs a team though.
Yeah, he does.
But he seems to get how to set up a defence, which
Klopp
doesn't.
I'd say he's always been compared to Klopp. Like when he came into Huddersfield, he was compared to very Klopp because his mannerisms are very he's very passionate and everything like that. He looks a little bit like him.
He just has the same colour teeth.
But the difference is David Wagner can set up a team defensively, and David Wagner knows when not to just go at a team. And Huddersfield, the one thing about them and the one thing that you can never bash them for is just that heart and determination.
They're not afraid.
They will kick you from one end of the pitch to the other if they have to. They will play ugly and they will win ugly. That's how they got promoted to the Premier League. They didn't.
That's
score
another
a goal.
thing, actually. Just to say really quick what we spoke about as well, like with teams like Huddersfield, Burnley and stuff. You kind of see it's a bit physical element is coming back into the Premier League. Like there's a few challenges going.
Burnley remind me of Bolton Wanderers.
So
you need to
teach because they're like 40 minutes away from each other.
No, no one wanted to play Bolton.
Yeah, no one wanted to play Bolton up in the breeze block, purely because it was the coldest place.
Like Stoke back in the day.
Nobody wanted that's and that's kind of really it. But
with Rory Delap.
But do you think this is like? Can they afford to lose any more games? Do they want to win the league?
No. That's the God's honest truth, because I don't think City will lose that
City aren't slowing down anytime soon.
I don't think Spurs will lose that many either.
Yeah, Spurs I seem to get it right in Wembley.
They broke their duck properly now.
The biggest issue Spurs had was the size of the Wembley pitch, and I think they're starting to
they changed the training.
They seem to be playing with... Son seems to now play the home games. Son seems to now be giving them more width in those home games, which they've kind of cracked that. I know it's on the sheet there, and I'll bring it in because it is. I think the biggest thing for United later on in the season is Zlatan's back. And I think that will change them after Christmas because... Yeah.
But then games where they set up to be negative, that's where kind of Zlatan can do his thing.
You play with the tail up there.
But with Zlatan, like, I don't know if you watched the game against Everton last season and they were 1-0 down. Ashley Williams handballed the last game of the season.
Yeah.
You need someone like Zlatan who's going to step up and take the penalty. That's going to... I know it was only a draw, but they needed to win that to get the goal. Sorry, and you knew that he wasn't going to miss.
Yeah. The thing with him is...
He has that factor, the X factor.
There's two things Zlatan has now not won this career for teams he's played for, and that's Premier League and the Champions League. And Zlatan Ibrahimović is a man who is just motivated by things like that. Will go, I've not won these really major honours. If United are in contention after Christmas and he comes back and he's fully fit and he's still Zlatan Ibrahimović, he will be a player who'll come in and get them 15, maybe 20 goals in all competitions the second half of that season. You add that to what Lukaku gives you, you find a way to either play the two of them together, or you play one of them, the other one comes off the bench. You've got Rashford and Martial in form.
I tell you what,
if it comes down to it tactically, I think there can only be one. Do you know what I mean? I think you might see some freak.
I don't think so, because I think Zlatan can drop deep and give you that, and Lukaku can get behind. I think you free Lukaku to get behind.
But I think as well as that, if you're the defense and you see Lukaku and you see Zlatan coming up against you, you're gonna go, oh shit.
Yeah, because you have the physicality of the two, and you have the pace of Lukaku, and you have the fact that
Zlatan's so clever.
I think Zlatan was the type of kid he wouldn't share his toys.
But I think if Zlatan as a... I think he'll be very good for Lukaku in terms of, I think he will get a lot of little flick goals, flick the ball in around for Lukaku to run onto. I think that's what Lukaku was missing for Everton, is someone to play up top to take the ball in, because that's not the way Lukaku plays. And anyone who actually watches, he wants to get in behind. So I think he could play the two of them together. And I think it would be scary if you had say maybe Rashford, Martial, Zlatan, and thing.
Even Mkhitaryan and one of the other two, where you
like
have the
the
guy and then you've Pogba and Matic in midfield. Then when the two of them are back fit, that's a serious team.
Yeah, people forget that Pogba's out too.
Yeah, and it's a big miss, because the start of the season,
he's been really good.
And Matic has still been
quality. And even Fellaini missing as well. I know Fellaini is a joke to a lot of people, but Fellaini was really effective for United when Pogba went out.
Again, he looks like the Fellaini that was playing for Everton and winning games and tormenting bigger teams.
I think Zlatan could actually give United, and you're going to jump across the table at me with this, a kind of Bergkamp Henry type feel, where Zlatan drops deep, has this great touch, can turn, can play balls in behind, and then Lukaku has all that pace and the power that Henry had, where defenders in the Premier League have said that Henry, like lads from that period have gone, Henry was like the strongest player I played against. He was so strong. And if you get Lukaku doing the same runs, you get him running behind defences. We know how strong Lukaku. I'm not saying...
I just got sick in my mouth.
I'm not saying that they're as good as that, but I'm saying you could have the same type of player where you've got the one who drops deep and creates a lot of the space for the other one to get behind.
Yeah, but I think Zlatan would have to be sacrificing a lot of goals, which
you'd have to see
would he be willing to do that? Is the only thing. If he's a team player, he will. But then again, you get Pogba launching balls over to Zlatan. He knocks them back across the goal, and I don't think there's anybody better in the 6-yard box than Lukaku.
Yeah,
as a finisher in the 6-yard box.
People forget
No, that's the goal. People say I'm biased and I hate him and all that, but you put him in the 6-yard box, that's where he scores most of his goals.
Exactly.
People forget what Zlatan his last season at PSG. He had 18 assists in all competitions. Mm-hmm. So he does create chances for other people, and he did get Cavani a lot more goals in that last season. Yeah. You could see the passing of the third chapter in the PSG because Zlatan knew he was coming to the end. Cavani started to play a little bit more centrally, and Cavani got a lot of goals just through Zlatan creating.
Could be exactly what they're missing.
The thing with Lukaku is he's shocking first touch, but if he has to just hit the ball into the goal, then his first touch isn't bad.
Yeah.
But anyway, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We're going to move on to City now.
Yeah, so we move on to City then. 3-0, but I suppose they didn't look as comfortable as the scoreline suggested.
I was impressed with Bruyne.
Yeah.
Like 3-0 against City at the moment is a very good result.
3-0 is like a 1-0, yeah.
Yeah. But it was 1-0 for a large period of the game. Yeah. Like, they scored 2 late goals. But they seem to be scoring a lot of late goals. Like, you remember against, I think it was Liverpool. They got a lot of late goals and stuff like that.
I thought fitness. I thought Pope was fantastic. He made some really good saves.
Pope and his Jesus. And
he made a save. It was almost godlike.
Didn't realise Ibra was playing that game.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, Pope's been a good goalkeeper for a while though, coming through. Like, he was in the lower leagues in England.
He was 22.
Ugly bastard.
Lower leagues in England for a couple of years. Like, he was playing there at a very young age, and he looked solid keeper then. And he went to Burnley last season and didn't play a lot, but coming into the team now, he is a really promising keeper. And it was 1-0 for the longest time, and Burnley were in the game, and then they gave De Bruyne an ounce of space, and he just carved them apart for the Sané goal.
That's why I'm so terrified when Arsenal go to City, just because De Bruyne is like, he's just
one simple tactic, and we've all been taught when we were young. Just first challenge, just smash him.
Yeah, but I actually don't think he'd get close enough to him. Like, that's God's honest truth.
He got through the back of that.
His space,
first minute,
the way he creates space and the way he finds little pockets in between midfield and attack.
He's honestly
the first minute's the time to do it because the referee has to set the tone for the rest of the game. So if you do that in the first minute, he's not going to book you.
No,
it's after 5 minutes.
He has to give you.
I was told this by referees.
He has to give you a talking to first.
He's
that's like a 2-foot rule.
He's become what Iniesta was for Barcelona under Guardiola. He has become that player. He's become the player who just. You can be
dictates.
And Silva, Xavi.
Yeah, pretty much. And Fernandinho was.
I would just fucking.
Actually, I suppose we need to talk about was it a penalty? Theatrical spin.
Yeah,
Bernardo.
I
think it was a penalty.
I think it is a penalty in 2017 football. I think it's a penalty.
It was so dramatic though.
Yeah, like, but Bernardo Silva's going to do that. Like,
dude, that's your shot, lads.
But yeah. I suppose from an Irish perspective,
there's not that much to talk about with kind of City because it's
just no Danish players playing, so
it's just a run of the mill result for City at this point to just go and beat a team 3-0 at home. It's just what they. It's becoming normal.
The only way I see City not are slowing down is if they get an injury to both Aguero and Jesus.
I don't think that would actually slow them down that much. I think De Bruyne getting injured would kill them. Because I think they've got great players to come in.
Because I've seen Bernardo Silva there.
But Bernardo Silva's not that player. He's more of a wide man. Gundogan is the guy you come in and replace De Bruyne with, but Gundogan is made of paper.
Bernardo Silva's not going to take over again. Like what De Bruyne is going to do. He's not going to feed in players from the middle.
They have players of the pedigree that can come in and make a difference in the game.
Yeah.
And by the way, what a ball for Sané.
Yeah.
Let's just take a moment.
Even Sané stopped and was just like,
"You're disgustingly good.
You're so good at football."
We were watching Match Today together on Saturday, and as I said,
you were saying about the past.
That basically 99% of players would get that ball and play that ball in front of the defender to Sané. De Bruyne sees
he curled it to his feet.
Yeah, De Bruyne sees that to drag it around the two defenders, completely take them out. Where the only player getting that ball is Sané. He played it in a way where neither of the defenders could even try and intercept it, where the only person getting that was Sané because he was the one running onto it. It's just the intelligence of those type of balls that just rip teams to shreds.
He's just a dream of a player. It's just a manager's dream as well.
Yeah, 100%.
I think Chelsea probably sacked Mourinho purely because he sold De Bruyne. think everything else that was going on with it, and they were struggling. They probably just seen De Bruyne playing the way he was a couple of years ago, even going, it's fellas doesn't have a clue. Get rid of him.
Well, just in terms of City, I don't see them slowing down anytime soon. If you guys have any different thoughts about that, let us know in the comments. As you know, we love to hear from you guys. We're going to move on to Chelsea now, and